This Korean drama on Netflix is often unrealistic, a bit childish even, and yet completely impossible to stop watching. I grew up in Korea and now I have my own kids attending school in Korea, so from my own personal perspective, I'm going to tell you why this drama is so popular and also talk about how close to the reality the drama is. And I recently heard in the news that lawmakers are actually considering the creation of a department just like in the drama. So more on that later. And by the end of the video, you will also have learned some really useful Korean words and expressions. Let's go. It's called Teach You a Lesson, and the drama hit #1 in 27 countries and Forbes called it one of the best dramas of the year. But honestly, if you just hear the premise of this drama, the setup, it sounds a little too unrealistic at first. A couple of adults, kind of like enforcers, show up at schools and solve all the problems, sometimes with physical force and sometimes with genius-level clever strategies. They work for a fictional government agency called 교권보호국, Teachers' Rights Protection Agency, or Teachers' Authority Protection Agency. So why is this drama so popular? I think there are two main reasons for that. Reason number one, the stories are based on real events. Each episode presents heavy and saddening situations that remind the viewers of some real incidents and serious crimes that they saw in the news, or also potentially of their own sufferings during their school days. The gambling site that lured in school students, the incessant complaints of incredibly selfish parents that torment teachers, the parent who got obsessed with their son's school grades and abused him. Because all these problems really happened before, rather than just being creative imagination, everything feels more real and has more impact. And reason number two for the drama's popularity, well, because the problems are so serious, the drama presents some really satisfying solutions for them. Na Hwa-jin, the main character, his comic book level combat skills are just so satisfying to watch. While watching the drama, many viewers must have thought, oh yeah, I really wish that we could solve school problems like that. Those bullies and those terrible parents really got what they deserve. We really need an agency like this. And there's an expression in Korean, 사이다, 사이다. You know, it's this clear soft drink like Sprite or 7-Up, and figuratively, 사이다 is that refreshing, finally it's resolved kind of feeling when something frustrating finally gets resolved. So the opposite is 고구마. It's fun, right? A sweet potato. Because when you are eating a 고구마, it makes your throat feel a little stuffy. So frustrating, suffocating, and 답답한 situation is described as 고구마, and the relief through an effective solution is described as 사이다. So we can say that this drama is so 사이다. So there are many sad scenes in the drama, but you can't stop watching it because you know there's a big catharsis coming at the end of each episode, along with some really well-written lines. I'll also introduce some of them. But first, let's talk about the drama's title. The title is 참교육. The literal translation is true education. 참 is a native Korean word that means true or truly. So the good job stamps that I got from my elementary school teachers said 참 잘했어요. Really well done. And 참교육 is a beautiful and important word, but over time it has also taken on the slangy meaning of to give someone what they deserve or to teach someone a lesson. And how accurately does the drama portray Korea's education system? Is everything in the drama really happening? Are Korean schools really some kind of dystopia? No. Like I said earlier, the scenes in the drama were based on real events. So the stuff does happen and did happen. But those are really extreme cases, and many statistics show that Korea actually has a relatively low ratio of school bullying compared to other OECD nations. When I was a student, there was a lot of corporal punishment for sure, but our school was definitely much more peaceful, fun, and safe than what this drama shows. So while it's important to address the topic of students' safety, teachers' authority, and problematic parents, I hope you don't paint extremely pessimistic pictures of Korean schools in your head just because of this one popular drama, okay? But what I do think is great is that there are always dramas being made about problems in Korean schools. You know, every society has problems no matter how well the society functions, and these dramas provide a great opportunity for conversation among people. Alright, now let's focus more on the language itself. Let me walk you through some words and phrases from this drama that you will not find in your textbooks. By the way, there's a lot of swearing in this drama, so keep that in mind. The she expression alone, you know what I'm talking about, was used 287 times. So, words first. The first one is 학폭, 학교, 폭력, shortened to 학폭, school violence or bullying. So, 학교 is school and 폭력 is violence. And it's such a constant topic in Korea that people just use the word 학폭 and they don't use the whole phrase anymore. They just say 학폭. And these days, when there's a fight or quarrel between children, it's often taken to the 학폭 committee and it becomes a fight between parents. I know, not the best way to deal with things, but that's how things are now. Next, you will hear the word 일진 in the drama. The tough crowd, 일진. Originally, it's a military term, the first batch of soldiers who will go and fight, but now it refers to the kids who pick on the weaker kids and give them a hard time, mainly because they are physically stronger or have lower moral values, I think. And next we have 왕따. It's an outcast, okay? 왕따. 왕 means king, but here it's used almost as an adverb, like very completely, and 따 is from 따돌리다, which means to shut someone out from the group. Not a nice thing to do, just, interesting to know. Don't use them. I hope you don't have to ever use them. And there's an expression that gets used quite a lot in this drama, but I've never heard it before. That was 전따. Apparently it's the same as 왕따, but combined with 전교, the entire school. Neither of them are positive words. And next we have 교권 침해, used throughout the drama quite often. 교권 is teachers' rights and authority, and 침해 is violation or infringement. You will hear this a lot, not only in this drama, but in Korean news in general, because it is true that teachers' authority in Korea has really weakened in recent years as some parents have become much more demanding and difficult to deal with. I am on my children's school committee, and I can tell you that some parents are really difficult. And next we have 갑질. 갑질 is abusing a superior position to treat someone however they like. This comes from the contract forms. 갑 in Korean is the client and 을 is the contractor in many contract forms. So 갑 is usually the upper side of the contract and 을 is the lower side. So being 갑 and knowing that they're 갑 and acting like one is 갑질. And lastly, we have 촉법, 촉법. In the full form, it is 촉법 소년. It is a legal term for a juvenile that is too young to face criminal punishment. So if we break it down, 촉 means to touch or to reach, and 법 is law, 소 is small, and 년 is age or year. So 소년 here doesn't mean a boy, right? So and altogether it means for touching the law or to be touched by the law, the age is small. In this show, a kid causes harm and then just says, 저 촉법인데요? I'm 촉법. I'm a 촉법 kid, right? Completely unbothered because he knows he won't be punished. It is a huge point of debate in Korea, and in this drama, it plays out differently. And now some phrases and sentences. Here are some memorable lines from the drama 참교육 that we can learn a lesson or two from.
조장 선생님, 어른이 애들을 무서워하면요, 세상은 망하는 겁니다.
I love this line. This is a recurring theme in this drama, right? 어른이 애들을 무서워하면요, 세상은 망하는 겁니다. 어른 is an adult, 애들 is kids, children. 무섭다 is to be scary or to be scared. 무서워하다 is to feel scared of so and so. 세상은, the world, 망하다, falls apart. The whole world will fall apart if grown-ups are scared of kids. It's really almost a central theme of this drama, and when a child does something wrong, adults should be able to correct their behavior and guide them into a better direction is the overall message.
저기 밖으로 떨어진 분이 누군가 죽이고 싶을 때 참을 인 3번 쓰라고 했습니다.
And the next line to learn and remember is 참을 인자 3번 쓴다. 참을 인 is the name of a Chinese character, 한자 character, and 자 means the character. 3번 쓴다. You write it 3 times. It comes from an old saying based on a story that goes like 참을 인 3번이면 살인도 면한다. If you write or think of the character for patience, 참을 in, 3 times, you can even stop yourself from killing someone. So the character Im Han-lim, whenever she needs to stay calm and not so angry, we can see her writing the character on her palm 3 times.
2번 썼습니다.
And you will hear this line as well. 괴물은 괴물로 잡는다. 괴물 is a monster and 괴물로 잡다 is to catch. So you catch a monster with a monster. Some kids were turning into monsters, so the agency has to become a monster too to stop them. And if you're watching this far, you definitely have passion about learning Korean. Whether you want to learn with a systematic online curriculum, study with useful books, read easy Korean stories, or practice speaking Korean every day, we have everything ready for you. Visit us at talktomeinkorean.com or check out the links in the description. So we've talked about why this drama is so popular, and we have learned some Korean phrases and words along the way. And I would like to end this video with the part that I personally find most important. You know, in this drama, 참교육, as well as in real life, behind almost every problem child, there is a problem parent. These kids didn't turn out this way on their own, right? They are copying the adults and grown-ups around them, the selfish adults who taught them that other people don't really matter. So when Koreans talk about school problems, we're never really just talking about schools. We're talking about our whole society. Maybe that's why this drama uses the word 어른 in so many scenes. It keeps asking over and over again what a real adult is even supposed to be. And I know that an agency like 교권보호국 in the drama is going to be probably a little bit difficult to be made in real life, although they're talking about the idea I heard in the news. This drama made a lot of people stop and think about the meaning of education and the meaning of being a good adult. So I'm really glad that the drama became popular, not just in Korea, but also around the world. So what are schools like in your country right now? Are you dealing with the same kinds of problems that you saw in this series, or is it completely different? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.